Even though the right to highest attainable standard of health is a fundamental right guaranteed by the Kenyan Constitution, for many people it remains a dream. This is demonstrated by the sheer volume of people who come to Kituo offices and complain about being denied their right to health care. This includes those who have been held in hospital wards because they couldn't pay their hospital bill, as well as those who need legal help to obtain financial compensation for medical malpractice. Parents like Njeri and Bernard Muriuki are not exceptional. Their 2-year-old son was held in deplorable conditions for 5 months due to unpaid hospital bills totaling to 651,959 shillings.
Our son referred to Kenyatta Hospital from Nairobi West on 6th April 2022. He was to see a specialist so that he could determine whether we'll have a surgery or just medication. After theater, the son was well and got a discharge on 9th May 2022. Unfortunately, he did not go home. We were forced to stay in the hospital due to the bill which occurred. Our son stayed in hospital from that May up to October 31st. The date of admission, our son was 1 year and some months.
So in Kenyatta, when they realized that none of the insurances was going to pay, then they started handling us like very dangerous criminals. They would talk to my wife in a very negative way. You know, this is emotional assault, so she would just cry. I work in a government school and giving them all the documents they needed. We were not the criminals. Even if we left the hospital, there was a way for them to follow us. I was asking the hospital to let the child go home. I'm be left in dealing with them. When we go to the banks and borrow money, huge money, millions, they don't keep us in their custody till we finish paying. So I was telling them, let us sign. I can bring my lawyers, we sign, and then I can be handling that bit. They refused to release my child. I said, my child is not the principal contributor. My child did not even choose to be taken to Kenyatta. He never told me to do so. I'm the one who did it. So arrest me if having a death is a criminal offense in our country. So arrest me, let my people go home. I'll work out my way later. They turned all this down.
I decided to walk away from the hospital. I left the child, went for further help. We have been in various offices looking for help so that our child could be released from hospital.
So I talked to the Ministry of Education, I talked to the State House, they wrote letters to the hospital, and all these letters were ignored. So I was advised by the ministry to go and talk to the Kenyan Medical Practitioners and the Dentist Council. That is, they wrote to them letters, they ordered the hospital to release the child immediately, and then enter into an agreement on how they were going to get their money paid. We were ready to do that, but the hospital again were undermanned. They rejected all that. I gave feedback to the medical council, who now told me about the Kituo Cha Sheria. We went there immediately, so we explained our story there. So the officers, that was around towards the end of October. The officers worked very fast and received calls during the weekend at night from Kituo Cha Sheria, with very committed people. And the matter was in court within a short time, the way I did not even expect. I thought that it would take about 2 or 3 months for the matter to go to court. Little did I know that I would be called to appear in court so fast. So Kituo Cha Sheria seems to be having the way forward for the low-income people like me.
The child was discharged from Kenyatta National Hospital on May 9, 2022, but remained in the hospital custody until October 31st, when the High Court ordered his release as a result of constitutional petition filed by Kituo Cha Sheria at the High Court in Milimani, which questioned the hospital decision to keep Christine and her child in detention.
They had reached their end, they had no hope, and they knew that there was no other way to get their child. They had tried everything, and by the time they came now, they knew there is nothing more that can be done. But when they approached us, I informed them that they actually have a case that involves the violation of the rights of the child, and that could involve filing a constitutional petition, which we prepared and filed. And we filed it with an application seeking that the child be released pending the hearing of the main petition, the constitutional petition. And when we went to court, the first instance, it was on 26th of October 2022 when the matter was mentioned, and we prayed that the child be released, but the court declined to release at that point and said that we need to go discuss between the hospital, Kenyatta National Hospital, and the Teacher Service Commission to discuss how our client could pay installments so that the child is released. And we met now on 28th of October 2020 to discuss, and finally we were able to reach a settlement. We couldn't agree on a few issues, and on Monday, the 31st of November 2022, it's finally the court ordered for the release of the child, and that our client would pay small installments towards offsetting the bill.
We are now happy. I can afford a smile. It has been a long way. Painful journey, but at long last. We thank Kituo and especially our Wakili Nelias Njuguna for her effort, speared by her fellow lawyers at Kituo Cha Sheria.